Magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing? This Saturday night, it's Transformers Slag Podcast Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Proto Man. I am the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday, and it is Saturday night. We didn't do a segment yesterday, Friday. I apologize for that. I don't want to start on a downer for the live stream, but I got contacted from some individuals within the Montreal toy community. One of our people passed away suddenly due to complications from cancer treatment. I don't want to say his name just out of respect to his family and everything, but I mean, he passed away at 42 years old, and it's like, ugh. So he had a funeral, and out of respect, I wanted to go to that funeral. And of course, the whole toy community was there. And so we were there into the wee hours, just celebrating his life, talking with his family and his children, and just doing the good things. So I apologize for no segment on Friday. Was just paying respects to an individual within the community. And the sad irony was the following day today was a 2-day toy show in Montreal where all of us were going to be together again. So kind of a celebration of his life. Just wanted to just get that out there and let you guys know what happened and why there was no Friday segment. But yeah, just wanted to get that. I think last week too, we talked about the passing of Tony Todd. What a world we live in. Enjoy the people that you have around you. I mean, I always say, I can't emphasize that enough. I can't say that enough. But yeah, so we're going to talk Transformers today. We got some news we got to cover. I got some cool stuff in the mail. Shout out to Michael Koo. He sent some cool stuff to the Transformers Slag P.O. Box. Because it was a toy show today, I picked up a few items here and there. Actually, the wife bought more than I did, so... But picked up a few items here and there, so kind of want... Oh, there's Michael right now. So I kind of want to also kind of go through some of the cool stuff that I picked up. Didn't get much, but little things here and there. And then we'll just take some super chats and chill for the rest of the evening and make up for everything. I have a somewhat small announcement. We'll talk about it later in the live stream. Kind of exciting, kind of tied to some stuff I might have teased later, but it's gonna... Well, we'll see. We'll get to that juiciness afterwards. Who's in the chat though? Let's look at... We got Timmy K. Poindexter with the extra hugs. Thank you, Timmy. His family's gonna need it. Imagine he has a wife and a daughter that was only 5 years old. So it was pretty rough. Pretty rough. All those years I knew him, I never knew he liked Mega Man. I was like, man, could have rapped about Mega Man all that time. Michael Koo, what's up, brother? We're going to talk about the stuff you sent later. We got Robotimus Toys, Modutron, we got Patrick Brown, we got Rodimus Power, we got James Hobson, we got Will Murphy, Ninjatron is here. What's up, Dylan? Larry's probably not here. He's probably still at the toy convention. Fawn Heart, is here. T-Formers 2002. Hope I'm not missing nobody. Just give me a yo if I missed you. Horned Owl, MCDAC, Y-Lag Y, Talib. Everyone's popping off. The twins are here too, Omega and Delta. Good stuff. So we'll cover some news, some little updates here and there, little things. Again, your refrigerator just died. Ooh, I feel that. That's what happened to me during the ice storm where I lost all my food. Hope everything's okay with you, brother. If it's cold enough the weather, put the food outside. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do, man. That sucks, man. But so Tom Laney, what's up? Ashna. So let's jump into it. Got some news to cover, and then we'll just take some super chats and some cool stuff. Some cool stuff this evening. So first we're gonna cover this. This one, man, this was the fandom was divided like crazy between like, oh, core class could do it better, and oh, like toys that have been they're super old could be better, you know. But here we have the Studio Series Deluxe Class Transformers Devastation video game, Optimus Prime. Clearly, Gamer Edition as a segmentation or title for Studio Series is no longer a thing. They're just going to just probably go with a logo of whatever game it's pulling from and just do that instead. So this is no longer like a Gamer Edition kind of thing. There's no more numbering with Studio Series, so they kind of got rid of that too. I feel the Studio Series numbering getting removed is mostly just due to confusion with Takara. It's kind of the same thing. I remember at one point Masterpiece in America tried to do a numbering system. Remember, I think it was like Soundwave and Acid Storm were like '01 and '02, and they tried that for like a hot minute, and then they just discontinued it because it was like, why are we going to have an MPO1 and MPO2 when and Takara has it? So probably just to avoid confusion with packaging, and especially when you have American packaging in China and just across the lake in Japan, you got a different kind of packaging and a different kind of numbering. So probably just to avoid that, they just figured for a good cohesion of the pollination of the brands. And then, of course, also the backgrounds are, I think, gone now too. It doesn't look like there's any backgrounds that are going to be included. The cardboard, that one, some people don't mind it being gone. Me, I always kind of appreciated it, but at the same time, I mean, if it keeps things cheaper, then yeah, I don't need the background then. But if it didn't make a big difference, then I'll kind of miss it. But here we go. Some people are speculating maybe there's extra stuff that comes with it that we don't see in the photography and the packaging. It's kind of the same thing with the deluxe toy Optimus through Legacy United, where you didn't see like the extra guns or the matrix or the stuff through the packaging. It was something that was just, you bought the product and there it was, and it wasn't shown in any of the cross sell. So we will see. But again, this reminds me of the Robot Heroes one. Let me just turn to get rid of that. He's over there. Good old Robot Heroes. Optimus, little mini masterpiece back in the day. He was like the hottest thing back then when we had Universe 1.0 and there was no such thing as classics yet. Like that Robot Masters line was kind of firing on all cylinders. And it kind of gives me that kind of vibe. Just simplify it, keep it small. Maybe because it was so simplified, maybe the paint deco, budget was a little higher, and I don't know. I don't know the nuts and bolts and the nickels and dimes that went into this, but the point is it is what it is. I feel that it's more so, if anything, just a companion piece for the Devastator that we're going to be getting in the very same line. And I think that's pretty much why it even exists. Because let's be real, we got a ton of Optimuses in 2024 of the G1 flavor. So it's not like we were hurting for something like this. Oh man, we totally need a deluxe Optimus in the face of the Missing Link, in the face of the toy Legacy United, the reissue that we got through Walmart of the G184. I know I'm forgetting stuff, but there's so many of this design that's kicking around, and stuff that was design adjacent, like Earthspark kind of having a similar vibe, and so many of the others. So to me, it's just like, okay, I think this is just a Devastation product for the Devastator, and that's really it. And I mean, look, they're not going to waste the mold. This thing's going to get repainted like crazy. We're gonna get the black repaint, the shattered glass repaint, the toy accurate color repaint, which would make no sense in the fact that we got a toy version to begin with in United, but you know it's gonna happen. So it is what it is. As I like to call it, a perfectly good clearance item when the time comes for $10. That's the way I see it. I will see you at Ollie's, sir. I will see you at Ollie's. And again, keeping, with the tradition of this new facelift as the title is for this segment of studio series, we also have here what the Transformers 1 studio series stuff will also look with that new facelift design. Again, the reminder, like, the art, like we're going to have the robot mode art and the alt mode art right on the front there. We're going to have the steps to transform right up on the front there. A very different kind of marketing and copy that's being used here for the general audience of people who will be buying Transformers product in retail. So, interesting choices, but at the same time, probably something that was a calculated decision that even me and you are probably not too sure 100%, but there probably is a very logical answer behind all of these choices here. Just some guesses on my side of things. Michael Koo says here, I'm guessing Hasbro wants to keep Devastation trademark with this SS release. That's a very strong possibility, Michael. That's very true. You keep a logo, you keep a trademark. It's something that if there's a possibility of the game getting re-released through, let's say, the Microsoft, store or something, that's a very strong possibility too. That is true. Sorry, just getting some water in me. It was a very long day of toys. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I dig it. This one here though, let's be real. This is the one we're all excited about. Get good old Sentinel. He's looking good. And like I said at TFCon Baltimore, he was easily without a doubt. We were it takes, going to a Transformer convention now after Transformers 1 and then kind of getting an unofficial poll on what fans really liked in person and seeing just how popular Sentinel Prime was, especially with the female fandom. Quite surprised. Quite surprised. Guess they like a bad boy, but it is what it is. Then we have the brand new Blockies. Speaking of stuff that was really popular at TFCon Baltimore, we have the new wave of blocky stuff here. This is the a next different kind of segmentation within the Transformers blockies. We got the Transformers Galaxy version. So Galaxy is usually associated with the blind boxes. So this is a Galaxy version. Defender. So an SD style wave one of these sold in both robot modes and selected alt modes of these characters. They do not transform. And an interesting mix of stuff going on here. What's different about it this time around on top of it is it's 12 per case as opposed to 9. These are 4 inches as opposed to the, I guess, I don't know what you would say, like maybe like 3.5, 3.25 for most blockies. But these are going to be 4 inches tall, and they're going to feature all different kinds of color waves. So the brilliant wave, which is like metallic colors, the glittering waves, which are clear colors, the fact that we have stuff that's featured in not only in Generation 1, but Shattered Glass and animated. So very interesting stuff, and 4 different chases as opposed to just one chase figure. So that's going to be a nightmare for people who want to get like complete sets. Because before, oh, you could just, track down the one chase figure. Now it's 4 different ones. You got the chase, and then you got the super chase, which supposedly one is going to be one out of every 36 boxes. The other one's going to be one of every, what was it, 98 boxes or something, or 94. What's up, Aaron? So, yeah, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Again, these are cool. I like that we have an animated Bumblebee, even if it is the alt mode. That's a nice touch. Very cool to see that. Even the chase figures, you got a very like Windblade Optimus Prime, aka like a God Jinrai Apex Armor Optimus kind of vibe going on with the chase stuff. The alt modes, those are going to be like, less interesting. I mean, I feel bad for the guy that like pulls like a scavenger vehicle mode. That's not very exciting. But I mean, if it has at least some cool articulation, it won't be too bad, I guess. As someone that built model cars for years, they're probably the least exciting things to build. Because I remember I built like model planes and model cars between like ages gosh, I want to say like ages like 8 to like 12. And then when I built like my first Gundam kit at 13, it was like, oh my God, like completely different animal, you know? So going back to building vehicles won't be as exciting. But you know, you never know. Maybe the Bumblebee one will be kind of cool, or the Jets. I don't know. It's hard to imagine because those old monogram kits were pretty bare bone. But they still look cool. Again, hey Blocky, what are you? You're like at wave 5 of the basic releases, and now you're starting this, and still no Rodimus yet. Come on, brother, make it happen. Make a hot rod happen. Let's see it. But yeah, very cool. And speaking of Blockies, they're also now starting to show up in big box retail. This is a photo from Virginia, and it's a Walmart, and it looks like Wave 1 is starting to show up on the end caps. They have a special kind of display that was made specifically for Walmart end caps, and I guess we'll call them the end display pieces. Sometimes they use them for like Lego minifigs and blind packs and stuff. So you know, if you don't see them at your Walmart, check the end caps. Maybe it'll be in one of the end caps of an aisle that might not be related to the boys' toys action figure section. So maybe check the Lego section, maybe the end of the girl display, and you'll see there might be some Blockies there. $4.97 for a blind pack. It looks like it's only wave 1 right now, but you know, maybe it's wave 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. We're up to 5 if you're ordering online, but it looks like wave 1 is starting to show up at Walmart. So check it out. Check it out. We will see. And very cool stuff. T-Formers 2000. Are you kidding? Me and the Devastator fanboy Scavenger being my favorite. Oh yeah, Jay. If Scavenger is your favorite, then that's cool. But I'm saying more just like from a building standpoint, it's like I can't imagine that everyone's going to be excited to pull a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like even like if I pull a hot rod one, you know, it's like that'll be like not very. It's going to be the top of the vehicle, the bottom of the vehicle, 4 wheels, and probably maybe the spoiler will be a separate piece because of the yellow. But I mean, it'll be very unexciting. Where part of Blockies' appeal is just building these universal skeletons of these figures, and they're it's therapeutic, if anything. Very cool. Uh, Michael Kuhn to Blockies, please give us Hot Rod and Rodimus with the 86 movie set. Well, I mean, we got an Ultra Magnus thus far, so they're starting in the right direction. Have they done any female characters yet outside of Transformers 1? Like outside of like Alita and stuff, have they like they haven't done an RC yet, have they? So, I mean, maybe they're just waiting for that. You know, female characters really started to, you know, start really appearing with 85, 86 with Alita and her crew and Nightbird and then later on with RC. So, we will see. And again, RC is an easy one. You do RC, then you have a Chase Paradon medic, and you could do all kinds of craziness with that. Give her a little bit of coloring and call it Nightbird. Those kind of sell themselves in a lot of ways. But yeah, it is what it is. Still very cool. I dig them. I dig them. I like their universal skeleton, so you could have all kinds of like customization. They're very fun. And as someone who has been building model kits for, geez, 25 years minimum, I mean, it's nice to see something that is very beginner level. Like it's already pre-painted. They're not on sprues, so you don't really have to break them off of sprues or anything and have to worry about cutting it off and shaving it down and making sure the mold flash is gone. Like it's like the most beginner level model kit building you could possibly imagine in any shape or form, and it's catching on like fire. So I'm happy to see people having a great time with that. And again, check out your Walmart if you don't have access to buying online, or if you don't have access to like I guess Barnes and Nobles had them at one point. Oh no, is it Hobby Lobby or Barnes and Noble? I think one of them also had displays of it at one point. But if you have a Walmart in your area, go check out the end caps. You might get lucky. So check that out. And then we got this one here. We got Funko Pop, Funko Info, the Instagram account, announced that in summer of 2025, there will be 4 standard Funko Pop Beast Wars characters: Optimus Primal, Megatron, Rhinox, and Black Arachnia. There will be no Cheetor because he is an NFT only exclusive. Ugh. I mean, really, if you were gonna make one of the Beast Wars characters the NFT one, why would you use the character that was easily the most popular character of the Beast era? Like, that is whatever, Funko. You do you. You do you. But so, yeah, these are gonna be coming in 2025. So if you're a Beast person like me, uh, you're at least kind of excited, a little bit. I mean, I don't know how these are gonna turn out. Black Arachnia might turn out okay because she has, like, those black beady eyes that, that are associated with Funko Pops, and her design had that too, so but I don't know, Rhinox, Megatron with black beady eyes on already that gunmetal black head and everything, it's gonna look weird. I don't know, maybe they'll do something different, but it's Funko. It's Funko. Then we got from, Forever Clever, which are known for doing a lot of different licenses of the Transformer brand for different stuff here. This was at a Dollar Tree, and normally I don't bring this stuff up, but once in a while when they have some unique things going on with them, I like to just bring their attention. A lot of the same authentics kind of designs going with those G1 flavors and everything. So you got an Optimus Prime, you got a Megatron, you got a Bumblebee, you got a Grimlock. There's some Legendary 7 right there. But you got two Beast Wars ones. So you got an Optimus Primal and you got a Maximal emblem there. The Maximal emblem says Heroic Maximal. And the Optimus Primal says Prime. Now, I know that might be confusing to people but I think they were trying to say, well, that's just Prime, and they couldn't fit it. So it's just Prime. Just kind of like how the Grimlock says raw power. I think it's just more trying to convey something, if anything. So it is what it is. But these are at Dollar Tree right now. I believe someone said they're $1.50 each and they're blind packed, but you could actually feel the bag and kind of get an idea of which one you're getting because of the shape of the distinct shape. So if you have like a perfect square, you're clearly getting the Optimus Primal. Where if you get something that's a little more jagged, you're probably getting either the Bumblebee or the Grimlock. So very cool. I dig it. I think it's awesome. I mean, the Primal one's awesome. I mean, again, Beast Wars needs more love. Beast Wars during its peak back in 90, 96, 97, 98, 99 had very little merchandising outside of the action figures. Very bizarre. I guess it was a Kenner thing going into Hasbro. Maybe that's why they had a couple of puzzles and everything. Obviously, Japan picked up the slack on their side like they always do. But here in America, outside of a video game, a couple of puzzles, there was nothing else. There was no t-shirts, no wrapping paper, no model kits, no anything. Like you would have thought they would have like went crazy, but so they're kind of picking up the slack now all these years later, and now we get two little Beast Wars season 1 little pieces here. So check out Dollar Tree or Dollarama if you're in Canada. And that is that. And I'm glad that Aaron is here because the National Toy Hall of Fame inducted 3 different items. And finally, after I believe 5 attempts, Transformers has finally been inducted. And of course, for those past few attempts, they were obviously using the Aaron Archer and Kobayashi san designed MP01, aka 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime, as its representative. Of course, also My Little Pony and Phase 10 were also inducted this year, the 3 inductees. So for 2024, I just hope they weren't added just because it was the 40th anniversary and, they just wanted to do that instead of it being genuine and they deserve to be in there. Because, I mean, Pokemon was on the ballot. And the fact that Pokemon beat out Phase 10, I didn't beat out Phase 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it was, it is what it is. But so that's at the Strong's Toy Museum. Go check them out. Transformers will now be added to the Hall of Fame, where they do actually have a physical Hall of Fame over there. So you could go check it out. Fun and games. Go with the family. And again, My Little Pony's there too. And Phase 10, a card game of many years. So very awesome. And congrats to Aaron and Kobayashi-san for being the representatives of it for this endeavor. And the last thing we're going to mention before we get into everything else, Paramount Plus announced on their social medias that tomorrow, aka, well, I think it was on Thursday because I didn't get to do a post yesterday, but today and yesterday, Transformers 1 is now on Paramount Plus. So if you have Paramount Plus, go watch it 100 times. That way it messes with the algorithm and makes Paramount realize how important this movie is. Maybe just have it playing in perpetuity and repeat in the background 100% in your house all day. It's kind of forget what it was. It was with one of those music streaming things where if you have a friend who does like indie music, just play it in perpetuity on those streaming services to get those plays for them. So kind of the same thing here where, hey, go check out Paramount Plus, go watch an absolutely banger of a movie that deserved a million times more money than most of those Michael Bay movies ever got, you know? So, Transformers 1, love it. Love it. Check it out, yo. And that's it for the news. We'll do some sponsorship stuff and then we'll check out some cool things that we got either at the toy show or in the P.O. box. And then we'll open it up to the super chats to you lovely people. And of course, the green names, the YouTube members. Here today. Yeah, we need director's commentary. We need more extras. I'm waiting for that Steelbook to come out because that's not out yet. That's out December, right? I just pre-ordered it and I was like, I'll wait for when it comes out. That beautiful Steelbook one. They should have had like a nice crazy box set one. It was crazy how much the first 2007 Michael Bay movie, how many variants of store exclusives of physical media there was during that time. Transforming thing, PVCs. They had the Robot Heroes exclusives. They had stuff with titaniums. I remember there was a pack in. There were so many. There was one that came with a comic book. There was one that came with an exclusive extra DVD of extras. I guilty. I have all of those because I'm crazy. But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. So first, let's talk about sponsors. I'm wearing Symbiote Studios' hotness today. I'm wearing their Starscream shirt as well as their Starscream sweater today with Catnip Bravo. But of course, we got the beautiful plushes. Actually, I have them right back there, just chilling. But we got Sludge that is available on the store right now. I don't know if he's sold out yet. I hope he's not sold out yet. We got Grimlock also that's on the store right now. The two brand new Dinobots that have been added. And of course, back by popular demand, Bumblebee has been reissued. He sold out very quickly last time, so there is a new one. Thank you, Michael. The Steelbook for Transformers 1 is December 17th. There we go. That was 15th. Makes sense. And then, of course, all the others. There is way more coming in 2025. I don't want to spoil, but stay tuned for that here on the Transformer Slag podcast. We will have much more for you of Transformer plush product that is coming your way. A lot of really cool stuff. And of course, all the other Hasbro brands, they're all there too. Check them out, yo. And again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, we have two segments on there. We have the Transformers 1 deep dive where we really talk about the movie, not just from a review standpoint, but also the business side of it. What went right, what went wrong, what we liked about it, what we feel could have been done maybe better for a bit, marketing and business standpoint. So you get a very different take, and especially Aaron Archer's take, who was responsible for Transformers 2007, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, so someone who was knee deep during that movie boom era to get his take on Transformers 1. Who cares what I have to say? Let's hear Aaron's take on this. That's the most important. So go check that out. And of course, we also on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, we have our panel from TFCon Baltimore was uploaded. Shout out to Cringe McCringle for recording that for us and getting us that out there. And Aaron also did a fantastic live just yesterday where he shows you how a Posca painting is made. And he did a beautiful Supermodo Kumboy, aka Armada Optimus Prime, Monster Kumboy. So get yourself that too and check it out. This is going to be coming to TFCon Los Angeles, March the 7th to the 9th. It's a little early now to be announcing this, but you could also pick it up on his website, archermonster.com/shop. The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 3, a 36-page full color glossy paper. Beautiful little book. I'd reach for mine right now, but I'm kind of tired right now. So But check that out. That's on the store. And of course, all the Posca paintings. These are some of the new ones that are up right now. I believe the Bonsai-tron was added yesterday, Aaron. I think that was added yesterday on the store. There's way more than what I'm showing right here. This is all I could just really fit in a shot. So check those out too. One of a kind, one made. Once it's gone, it's done. Don't sleep on them. Don't miss out. Get your opportunity to own a piece of Transformer history on a Posca painting. From Aaron Archer, again, archermonster.com/shop. And that's the news and that's the sponsorship. So let's jump into things. Um, maybe we'll save the con stuff for after. It's not everything. So Michael Koo sent me in the PO box a few cool things. Um, Most of them, of course, not Transformer related because Michael pays attention when when I talk about non-Transformer. So he sent me this cool Hot Wheels set. He even said it himself. The main reason for this is pretty much just because Thanos is there. So that's pretty cool. Nice little Hot Wheels set. Oh, that, it has Carol. Not my favorite Carol. I'm not a big fan of Captain Marvel Carol. I'm more of a Miss Marvel Carol. But that's there, and you got a Captain America's pretty cool. Black Panther and Rocket Raccoon I could probably live without. So maybe I'll donate those. But you got me the Mad Titan, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. You got me that, and then to continue the Marvel theme, he also got me a booster box of Marvel Flair Ultra cards from, I believe this is one of the last sets that, because Upper Deck is going to be losing the license for the Marvel trading cards and Topps is going to be getting it. So he got me a nice booster box of that. I have not opened it yet. I'm probably going to save it maybe for a stream or something. It'd be pretty fun to open a whole bunch of packs of these, just see what we get. Very cool. Thank you for that. Uh, him and Cringe McCringle are like thinking on the same vibe. Cringe McCringle gets me the R34 Skyline Godzilla, and Michael Koo gets me the R34 Sky. So I'm gonna open one and I'll keep one sealed. And yeah, I haven't opened one because I got bought multiple of the other one, the R32. I bought a bunch of them. I have the R32 on my nightstand because it's just so cool looking. It's racing culture that I love. It's kaiju that I love put together in one and super cheap. So thank you for that, both Michael Koo and Cringe for now having both of them. And this was the one I was very excited about. He sent me this because I've been trying to track down this stupid thing, and it's not available in Quebec because all the packaging is English, and you know how we are in Quebec because we're stupid. The sticker set from Transformers 1, so you could get the Megatronus stickers, limited edition. I want to track down a second one of these, but this is really cool. Thank you again, Michael. Oh, is it sealed? Oh, they seal it. Wanted to open it live, but very cool, very, very cool. This is something I want to get a second one because I'm tempted. I want to put it on my laptop. That'd be pretty cool. You know, very, very cool. Very cool. I want to get another one, but I'm still trying to track down the Matrix that also comes with because this was done by Culture Fly, right? So you could only find these in the collector section of a Walmart. Like this won't be in like any other. You have to go like where the electronics are and stuff. But very, very cool. Michael Koo, this TF1 sticker set is a shelf warmer at my local Walmart. Well, then, brother, get me another one. I would love to get another set of these. Just for like, just to put the Megatronus one. That's so cool. That's so cool. Very, very cool. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're not going to be like Orion. You give me the sticker, I'm D16, and I'm grateful, and then we betray each other. But very awesome. Um, that's it more or less. Michael sent me also he also sent me some other stuff, but they've all been opened, like the Hot Wheels skate stuff. That's all been open. It's in the displays. But again, thank you for all of that. Let's get to the convention stuff that we picked up. This isn't everything because the wifey opened some of her stuff and it's already in the display. She bought a lot of Lego and kind of opened most of it. Before we went to the con, obviously, because it's convention, we had to get a breakfast and we didn't have time to have a breakfast because you got to wake up early for the cons and everything. So we went to McDonald's and just had a cheapy, whatever, Egg McMuffin. And they had the Mario Kart toys. I love that they're putting them in these fancy boxes now. So this is, I believe this is wave one. So I got two of each of these. Very, very cool. The Mario and the Bowser. And it's interesting. I feel like I think the only reason why they're doing these boxes is because plastic's more expensive. Because like you open it, let me just open one for you. And like even on the inside, they don't wrap the figure in cardboard. It's also in like tissue paper. So, and they don't wrap it in plastic, excuse me, like in a little poly bag or whatever. It's in tissue paper. So, I think I think this decision, while it looks cooler as a collector, it's like, oh, it comes in these nice boxes now. I think it's actually cheaper for them to do this now. It might take more space, like, in terms of like in their cases and stuff, as opposed to a loose figure in a poly bag, but I mean, looks cool as a collector. Very nice. I dig those. Some of those are reissues, if I remember correctly. Some of those designs are very similar. Uh, here we go. James Hobbs got my daughter a Happy Meal yesterday. She got the Donkey Kong. Oh, I would have loved the Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is there a Wario in that way? But I like Wario too. Wario, Donkey Kong. I know they didn't do a Shy Guy, but that would have been cool too. So that was before we went, and then at the show. I picked this up from shout out to my buddy Camise from his table. I think it's one of the last Roboto figures I'm missing because I'm not a big He-Man guy, but I keep him always on my desk here. I always like Roboto. I've always kind of liked his inner gear kind of design. So this is from the Netflix series Revelations, where he probably the most screen time he ever got in all his years of being featured in He-Man history. So very cool. Just love his, very robot Mega Man-esque kind of design, the churning gears in the chest, the Cybertronian language seen on the inside of his walls and stuff of his ship in the old cartoon. So picked that up from Camise. Shout out to him, long time, 20-year plus buddy of mine in the toy community here in Montreal. Alden Tolber with the $5 super chat. Imagine if D16, aka Megatron, learns that there's more of these stickers. Well, are they going to make a Solus Prime face? Wouldn't that be cool? A Solus Prime one. Actually, you know what? I probably would like to see. I'd like to see just the Zeta Prime one because he has a very unique face design on him. The 13th, you know. So very very cool. There's another Roboto coming in 2025. Doesn't surprise me. I feel like the Netflix series kind of like made people realize, oh, he was a thing. Because for the longest time, it was the original toy. I believe Diamond Distribution did a bust or something. Not Diamond Four Horsemen. I think they did a bust or something of him. And there's there's obviously like little PVC blind bag stuff, but like in terms of figures, there's like very little of him. And I mean, I even bought the WWE slash wrestling Eternia crossover one. I bought the Kane figure just because it's the Roboto body on it. So just trying to like make a little collection of all Roboto history, just kind of like him. So I got that. Larry, who also had a table at the show, who's in the chat, he hooked me up with an extra shattered glass Roddy. So this one I'm going to probably put in alt mode and I'll have him in display with the one I have in robot mode. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Larry. Hooked me up with that one. That over there so it doesn't get lost. The wife bought a whole bunch of Lego, but again, it's already in the display. She got like a lot of the bootleggy kind of ones because it's brands that like we probably will never really see. I'm trying to remember what she got. I know that she got Spider-Man 2099. She got Naruto. God, what else did she get? She got. I don't want to yell at Sandy. Which ones did you get? Um, Geez, what else? I remember she got she got two Daft Punk ones. Those ones were cool. She got the two members of Daft Punk. She got a whole bunch of really cool ones. Oh, she got like a Wolverine one from Deadpool Wolverine. She got a whole bunch of them. She was very happy with those. So she got that. She also got this. She loves Magikarp and she loves Gyarados from Pokemon. So she got this vintage. This is from Japan, 1996 vintage Japanese Poquito Monster Gyarados little figurine here. Originally 300 yen back in the day, so like geez, like $2.50. I think she paid 15 for this. Not too bad, in all honesty, for a nice little vintage item. She's probably gonna leave it carded. Very cool. She got some stickers because people had stickers. So she got like because she loves Ava. So she got some Ava. She got some Sailor Moon. She got some Naruto. She's got some of those. And then some of the comics, because already some of the comics are already on her nightstand. So this is a mixture of some stuff I got and some stuff she got. Uh, just put them in any kind of order, I guess. So this is one of hers. This is Punchline, probably a future cosplay that she wants to do. So Punchline, she got this Punchline book. This is one of my books. One of my books. All her books upstairs. Oh, they're all upstairs. Her books. Okay, so we'll just go with my books. She bought a bunch of Catwoman books too and everything. They were probably all on her nightstand to read. But so I was just getting some weird 90s books, Ghost Rider 2099. They had the Hulk one too. I should have picked it up. I just buy them just for the covers. I wanted to have all the 2099 covers just because they all had that holographic kind of cover on them. Man, I should have got the Hulk one. Oh well, maybe next time. Um, I get this one here. This is during 1986. Marvel was celebrating their anniversary, so they had these borders. And for Transformers, they had Menasor in the center and they had the borders there. So I always try to, every time I come across these issues, I try to just pick them up for that celebration. So this is obviously the Fantastic Four one with good old Ben Grimm hiding there. What else did I get? This one, if you're a Transformer comic book collector, you know why I picked this up. I already have it, but I mean, no one knows its true value. So if you know, you know. But if you're a Transformer comic book collector, always pick up Marvel Age number 17. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Most of the stuff is upstairs. And we got some What If books because I actually buy comic books to read them. Imagine. What If Silver Surfer and What If Elektra. I didn't have these two. I always loved the What If comics since I was a kid. Always were very cool, and I would buy them to read them. And they never did a proper. I would love it if they made an omnibus of What If just to have them all together, and then I could just read them that way instead of running the risk of damaging these ones. But it is what it is. I bought a few more books, but nothing too major, just readers. They're already next to the nightstand and everything. And then just a little blind pack of Marvel cards, which is not really that blind pack because if you could just kind of like see what you're getting here. And you could kind of tell who I was trying to get. Oh, is that Thanos? So there you go. So I made sure I get Thanos for that little blind pack. Trading cards. And that was it, more or less. There was a lot of great stuff there. Don't get me wrong. It was a packed show. There was literally every toy line you could possibly think of was there. Reboot, Food Fighters. It's just that the prices, we've reached a point now where now like certain Street Sharks toys go for like $100. Certain Food Fighter toys go for like $100. The comic stuff there, like it was either cheapy bin stuff like I was getting, or like key issue. Like there was guys that had X-Men number 1, 1963. They had Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 1965, because I think it was 65 with the Fantastic Four on the cover. Like there was you either had like cheapy bin books or like the crazy graded stuff. So it was a great show. It still is ongoing. Tomorrow is the last day. It's a 2-day show. But it was one of those things where the stuff that I was missing and wanted was so expensive that I was just like, I'm happy with what I got. you know, I don't mind leaving without it. Twins Corner with the $2.79 Canadian super chat. When will Hasbro live stream next year's Age of the Primes? I want to say that Nate said we're going to get something uh in December. We're gonna get a December stream. I want to say it was the 13th. It's a Tuesday, if I remember correctly. But we're gonna get something definitely before the year is up. 100%. So just stay tuned for that. They're not gonna leave us hanging for sure. And but yeah, thank you for the super chat, twins. I think we're gonna probably get like the first wave of Age of the Primes. Like the fact that we're seeing already like Prima Prime or Prima in the factory kind of situation shows that It's coming. It's coming. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's it more or less. Not much else really. Um, Figurine stuff. I mean, again, I could have bought more, but it was just like, I'm not spending like, what was it, like $200 on a Street Sharks figure I'm missing, or they had like a carded Food Fighter for like 125, and I'm like, do I need to buy, short stack carded for 125? 17th is a Tuesday. There you go. So that's where when it's probably going to be. Don't quote me on it. I just remember Nate mentioning something about that we're going to get something in December before the year is up. One last one. They always do like a good December one. Mark Morales with the $5 super chat. With Transformers having a history with Marvel, it was a happy coincidence that most of the lead voice actors from TF1 were in the MCU. Well, I think, you know what? That's more just, I feel actors, they reach a certain point in their careers where they just realize that, you know what? It's pretty darn easy to do this voice acting thing. And a lot of them, the stars don't even have to align where they're all in the same room. They just kind of come in sweatpants and a t-shirt, record their lines and leave. I mean, I remember when they showed footage of Ming Na when she was recording Air Razor's like audio. Ming Na, a very beautiful woman, but she was wearing like a trucker's hat, like a like sweatshirt. It's almost like she went running, and she was just like blah 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 blah, blah, and that was it. And then she left. So like I'm pretty sure a lot of celebrities that normally, oh my God, I gotta be in shape and I gotta doll myself up and everything to look good for these movies. Oh wait, I could just show up in sweatpants and be in a big Hollywood animated movie instead. I believe it was Eddie Murphy that kind of talked about that. And I'm pretty sure when Eddie Murphy said that about Donkey and Shrek, it kind of made everyone else go, why not? You know? So, and look at Christopher Hemsworth, new hotness, people like, oh, it's Thor. Let's go check it out for Thor. Oh, hey, I like Key and Peele and he's the voice of Bumblebee. Okay. Like I'll go see that, you know? So that's kind of the only missed opportunity was the Black Widow adjacent character in Arachnid, even though she wasn't a Black Widow, was not a Black Widow character. That I think her being Scarlett Johansson would have been more appropriate. But then in considering how many lines Arachnid had, would have been a waste in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think they did a great job though in terms of what. Again, go check out the segment me and Aaron Archer did talking about it. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Modutron Prime. Thank you, by the way, Mark Morales. Great question. Great question. Modutron Prime with a $2 super chat. Proto, what are your top 5 favorite anime super robots? Ooh, number one for sure is Daimos. That's top of the list forever. Uh, most partially nostalgia, partially because he's one of the more transformable ones. Dimos. So in Montreal, Quebec, we had like in the later number channels. I want to say it was 71, 72. This is old cable days. There was the Tagalog Filipino channel, and half of the stuff that would play on there would be in Filipino Tagalog, which is their language. Half of it would be in English, just dubbed by Filipino voice actors. And it's because English is the second language there in their country and it's fairly used commonly. So for some reason, sometimes they'd have cartoons that were in English. It's just they were dubbed by Filipino voice actors. So you could kind of maybe hear their accent a little bit, but it's still in English. And Dimos was on there, you know? So I watched it in English back in the 80s during like peak, robot time. So Dimos for sure, number one. I like Great Mazinger more than Mazinger. I like Great Mazinger. He's always been a cool design with the wings and everything. You can't leave out Steel Jeeg. Steel Jeeg is super cool. And Chojin Steel Jeeg, the sequel series, is probably one of the better modern updates. Um, what's another good one? Let me see. So we have how many I got here? I got Dimos, Steel G, Great Mazinger. I mean, if I was a Quebecois and I didn't put Goldorak, aka UFO Grandizer, I know that's going to come up. I think I have two French Canadians in the chat, so if they're like Daniel doesn't say Grandizer or or Goldorak as it's called in French, I'm not a true Canadian. But I don't know. I watched it as a kid and with Duke Fleet and everything. Never really connected with me so much. I have some Goldorak stuff, but I mean, I'll always put Dimos over him. Let me think. Who else? Who else? Who else? I liked Mazen Kaiser during the new series. That was pretty good. Great theme song, Fire Wars. Oh my god, such a grand. In the fire. Really good. I wouldn't count Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann's not super robot. Gurren Lagann's more I don't know, it's not real robot, but it's not super robot. It's kind of in that weird area in between in a lot of ways, Gurren Lagann. Would Gurren Lagann be on like a Super Robot Wars thing? Of course they would. Yeah, Get a Robo. Thank you, Michael. Get a Robo should be on there. But which one though? Which one? Giant Robo? Maybe not so much, even though the new anime was really good. But maybe not so much for Giant Robo. Let me think of one. Should I put you know, Raideen just for his historical importance. Yeah, Shin Getter Robos probably belongs on their star. You're right. That's probably the best Getter Robo. Great music too. Again, great intro. But I'd probably put Raideen in there just for his historical importance of the first true transforming robot. Uh, there's so many. There's so many. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's like, do I put Minerva? Do I put Minerva X? Do I put there's some of the weirder ones, the more side characters that don't get enough love in a Soul of Chokokin figure or something. Do you count, Vi Kung Fu and Kenryu from Machine Robo because they were featured in Super Robot Wars stuff, but I wouldn't consider them that, even though they're more like what Optimus Prime is and stuff and everything. Like they're just kind of just that it's not real Robo, but it's not Super Robot. So good question. Good question. It's hard to say. Hard to say. All I know is near my bathroom, in my upstairs bathroom, I literally have a little shrine of Dimos stuff. It's all kinds of little Dimos stuff next to it. Absolutely love it. See, same thing like Go Lion, Voltron. Go Lion to me is it's anime Sentai. That's how I've always felt like that. Go Lion, aka Voltron, it's just if that was live action, we'd all just be calling it Sentai. It's tokusatsu. It's an anime form. It's just because we were exposed to Voltron way before we were exposed to Power Rangers. We don't make that connection really, you know. So many good ones. And yeah, and I saw quite a few Shogun Warrior stuff. I saw Shogun Warrior and Pentabot, which is known as Erobach in Japanese. Someone had a near complete Pentabot on display at the show. I think he was asking like $150, which isn't too bad for a 1982 vintage Japanese robot. There was a lot of good stuff there. Don't get me wrong, like the fact that I'm more empty-handed does not belittle the show. There was a lot of really good stuff there. It's just the prices were swinging. It was just like, hey, that's really cool. Oh, three digits. Yeah, you know. So, but very awesome. Very, very awesome. Um, think what else? What else? So, I probably should talk about this. So, what's the date today? Where's my phone? So, yeah. So next week, okay. Hmm. So here's the thing, guys. So I don't know how much I could talk about this, but obviously my absence will be enough of that. I have a big business trip to Japan for some robot related stuff coming up very, very soon. Very, very soon. Um, Probably I'm going to be getting the tickets and flying out next week to Japan. Can't say where, can't say why, but you'll find out soon enough. Um, Soon enough by probably May of next year, because that's probably when the public press release will be. But so the reason why I'm letting you guys know that is because there probably won't be a live stream. That's why I'm looking at my phone, because I think you guys know how it is. Flying to Japan, that's you already lose 2 days right there. Um, I believe they're going to be flying me out the 22nd, 23rd, and I'm going to be gone for quite a few days. Quite a few days, maybe a week minimum, maybe more, depending on uh, how business goes, because we have to discuss things of potential future robot stuff. That's all. I can't go any more into that. Um, but yeah, so if I'm absent for a little while, that's the primary reason. The positive of that is if you follow the social medias, I'll probably be doing a whole bunch of posts of cool stuff. You know damn well if Proto Man's in Japan, there is no way in hell he's not hitting up all the stores, recording footage, having a good old time, and coming back with suitcases of stuff. So that's gonna be a big one. But I'm actually going for business reasons. They're flying me out. Everything's gonna be nice and juicy, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff will be had, to say the least. And you probably guys won't learn about what it is. I'm going to say April, May of next year. That's kind of how early stuff is planned before anything is even like slightly suggested is going to exist. Because you're probably going to only learn about in April and May, and the stuff won't come out until, yeah, much later. But it's going to be really cool. I already started talking with my people on the other side, Hydra, aka Andrew, Tomoya-san, and everything, and going like, "Hey, man, when boots hit the ground, we're doing some very good toy shopping." So I bought online. I bought this thing that connects to your iPhone, where you could like dump all your files and everything, because I imagine I'm going to shoot so much footage and photos that I'm going to max out my phone. So I wanted that if I max out my phone, I could dump it all to an SD card and then delete everything and keep going and recording a bunch of stuff. So there might actually be a Transformer Slag podcast little collage of video of me hitting up stores and stuff. I'll see. I don't want to make promises, because it might be like, oh my god, like they're going to expect like an amazing video, and then in the end it's just a couple of B footage of me in like a hard off or something. That's literally what they're called in Japan. That's kind of their thrift stores. Um, Buying a whole bunch of super cheap Sufobi Ultramans and Kaijus and Transformers. I know I'm gonna go crazy. I already, like, in my mind, I'm bringing two big suitcases, like two massive ones, because I know I'm gonna go balls to the wall for sure. Mayoral Fabrication with the $555 super chat today. Target had a buy two books, get one free. Get your Skybound Transformers paperback. Yeah, that's actually located in the magazine section of Target and Walmart. If you are looking for that, I saw that too. If you're looking to buy the trades, go to the magazine section. It's usually next to like, at least in my experience, it's usually next to like the bedding section and stuff, and they'll usually be right next to it with the Harlequin novels and everything. So, and the books and everything. I was actually there recently. Man, there's a lot of Taylor Swift magazines. My goodness, I don't listen to her music. I can't even name a song, but I was like, man, there's a lot of Taylor Swift magazines. It works on pre-orders and hardcovers. Oh, so you can just get it online. All right, even better then. Save yourself the trip. Excuse me. Just do that. Yeah, you could get the Skybound book. There's a lot of other really good stuff too. You could probably pick up. Maybe some even the older stuff. Thank you, Mayoral, for the little saver. And the $5 super chat. James says when boots hit the ground, you're gonna take a nap. That's what. So my handler told me the moment you get on the plane, because it's a direct flight from Montreal to, I believe, Nariga Airport, something like that. I think it's NKT. I probably am incorrect about this. Um, but my handler told me like try to, when you're on the plane, knock out. Try to fall asleep, because it's about a 14-hour flight, and he's like, if you could get like sleep in when you're going to arrive, because I'm going to leave in the morning from Montreal and I'm going to arrive in Japan in the afternoon. So he's like, if you could knock out during that 14 hours, you could kind of reset your body a little bit and you'll be fine. So he says that's the best way to do it for like East Coast people of North America going to Japan direct flight. That's the best way to do it. So I'm going to try to do that. No, my handler is no, she trusts me. She wants to come with, but this is business. She's trust me, she's not happy that she's not coming with. That's for sure. That would probably be a $2,000 ticket just to fly out there with her. No, this is business related. I told her, I'm like, look, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna get the vibe for it, and then then we'll plan stuff for her later in the future. She wants to go to South Korea anyways. She wants to get makeup stuff and creams and all that silliness from that country. She wants to go to South Korea more than Japan, even though she loves her anime stuff. It's like that's kind of the new hotness now with the ladies. So can't account for taste, I guess. Michael Koo also only drink bottled water, not tap water, or else your body will regret it. Well, can't promise that. I don't know what they're going to be bringing me to. I know a lot of gyudon places they've been always hyping up about. There's a whole bunch of different things. My goal is again Japanese thrift stores, hard off, stuff like that. Obviously, Mandarake. Akihabara is now touristy stuff, so I might actually kind of avoid Akihabara because it's all overpriced. But I do want to go to certain other places. I don't want to say really too much because it might also indicate where I'm going for all of this. So, but um, do want to go to that Ribeiro Steakhouse, which is where all the wrestlers go to eat. So that's gonna be pretty wild. It's kind of like a legendary place in Japan for like wrestlers and stuff. Hulk Hogan went there. All the wrestlers went there. You could kind of look that up. It has a very interesting history in Japan. And then there's this 2-floor, like near Ribeiro Steakhouse, there's this 2-floor wrestling merchandise store where you could get like really cheap stuff. The beautiful thing with Japan is they just don't have space for us to be collectors over there. So people unload and you could just get so much stuff cheap. And as a, American Canadian business minded individual, you could go there and yeah, Ash knows what's up. Get the Ribeiro jacket. Um, you could go there and like, oh, that's money. Oh, I could bring that back and that's money. So I'm kind of like part of my brain is like, if I could get some really good cheap Transformer stuff over there loose, man, that Toronto parts party that I'm gonna run is gonna be off the effing hook. Because if I could find some really good, like if I could get bags and bags of like Japanese exclusive mini cons for like nothing. And then I only have to like I could like if I could get them for like a buck a piece and I could sell them for 5, which people would still be cool with that because it would be Japanese exclusive mini cons. Oh my goodness. Like I'm just gonna, full transparency. I'll probably try to buy them for $1 and sell them for 5. But like, man, like if I could get like tons of stuff like that and just bring it over, that'd be great. That'd be great. But who knows? Who knows? You can't predict what you're going to find. But I mean, same thing. I'm going to look at, kaiju stuff, Ultraman stuff. I'm going to look at obviously wrestling stuff. I'm going to look, like the Marvel side of it is probably going to be kind of light in terms of trading cards and everything and all that. But we will see. We will see. Pokemon stuff, obviously, for her, you know, get myself the odd Gengar figure or something. But, you know, find me an animated blackout for under 150. I'm very curious what's going to be there. I'm very curious. The thing is stuff like when you're talking like premium items, those days are gone, unfortunately. My buddy Hydra told me like the days of like, finding Star Saber loose, somewhat complete for like $8 is those days are gone because there's collectors that live in Japan that if they find that, they know they could then take it and put it on eBay and sell it to Americans. Like those days are gone. But if there's, I have multiple tiers of knowledge of toys that are not just Transformers. Like I could tell you everything about rare superpower, DC figures. I could tell you about like, Kenner figures and stuff like that. So it's something where I feel if I'm in that environment, I could use some of that to probably, find items and then potentially, everyone will be smiling. What is common over there? is a interesting oddity back home, and I hope to kind of play that angle where, oh, super common, no one cares, mini cons by the dime a dozen over there. Pick them up, bring them back home, and then hey, white repaint, yada yada of like C team or something. Be pretty cool. I have a very different way of how I'm going to tackle it, but it's mostly based off of just my massive toy knowledge in general and how I'm going to do that. See, Ninja Tron knows what's up too. Those Ribeiro Steakhouse, like, yeah, I know. That's why, like, that's on the bucket list because I'm probably going to be there 5 to 6 days. So that's why I just want to warn you guys in advance. I'm not dead. Like the podcast is going to go silent for like a week straight, and people are going to be like, "Oh no, what happened to Proto?" I remember once during the ice storm, like I didn't do anything for like 3 days straight because I lost power and everything. And I had to like tell Jaws D and Aaron Archer, like, hey, could you let the world know that I'm okay? Because people were wondering, like people were tweeting me going like, how come you went 3 days without doing a segment? And there was news, like I wouldn't skip a day, especially if there was some news to discuss. But it was a weird time. Michael Koo, Proto, your wife will want to go to Shibuya area for the Pokemon Center. Well, yeah, the Pokemon Center, the life-size Unicorn Gundam. Like she wants to see that. We have the big Godzilla head hotel. There's the what do you call it? An Akihabara. There's this like I don't want to say it's like a brothel or like a host club, but there's like some kind of brothel host club that's Ava themed. So like she doesn't want to go to it, but she just wants to see it, you know? Like there's just so much like crazy stuff that's over there that it's just, you know, it's gonna be fun. T Formers 2002 with the YouTube member question, just like Japan vendors at cons, like at Baltimore. Well, yeah, the Japanese vendors, like this goes all the way back to. I wish I could reach the BotCon books to show you, but the Azuzas, the Tomoyas, the Andrew Halls, the Japanese vendors. They get stuff that's super common there, and then they bring it over here and they bring it on their table, and we're all like, oh, it's kind of like trying to think of something that was exclusive to us here and over there they didn't get. Let's take any of our animated toys, like just the vanilla ones, because they had the shiny versions. You take any animated toys, you bring it over there, they didn't get those. They got like metallic versions of all those characters. So they get like something that's more screen accurate is actually more desirable to them. So like if you brought Wave 1 animated Bumblebee and brought it over there, it's like, oh my God, but to us it's like common. So a lot of crazy stuff like that. Uh, and I'm just gonna pull that off. I'm gonna do the same thing, and this is gonna be no joke, guys. This is gonna be something that might be a little more regular in the future, because it's more business related. So I'm gonna try to hope that this doesn't happen multiple times a year. It's imagine. I hope I don't get to travel to Japan multiple times a year, but it's more just because obviously I don't want the podcast to suffer and everything. So it is what it is. We got a super chat from Joseph. What's up, Joe? Hey, Proto. I'm at the Brawlhalla Championship in Atlanta, Georgia. New Brawlhalla plush is incoming. How much bigger is Scorponok than Devastator in cartoons? Oh, extremely bigger. Scorponok is toe to toe with Fortress Maximus in the Headmasters cartoon, and those guys are supposed to be the biggest of the big outside of the Unicrons. There's a really good shot of Fortress Maximus next to Metroplex, and you could already see how much bigger Fortress Maximus is to Metroplex. And then TV Magazine even put out like this chart where it showed Fortress Maximus, and then it showed Metroplex, and then it showed, I believe it was Raiden, and Raiden's a combiner, and Raiden would be someone that's in line with, let's say, a Devastator, and significantly smaller. Like so Devastator would be barely up to Scorponok's like, upper shin kneecap. That's in that version. If we're talking like the Marvel comics, then he's as big as a deluxe Transformer, like, they're all even there. So, but in the continuity that I would lean on, which would obviously be the Headmasters cartoon, you could barely see Scorponok and the crew up there. Although you could see the Transforma 2010 little thing there. Um, he would be significantly smaller. To give you a scale comparison, you would take your Titan class Scorponok figure that you would have, Titan class Scorponok, and you would use like the PVC Devastator that SCF PVC did back in the day. That would be like the best, because we don't have like a deluxe class scale Devastator, but that would be probably maybe more accurate. But like there's a huge difference there. Scorponok is in line with Fortress Maximus, and Fortress Maximus we've had lore that specifies his sizing. So I hope that answers that in a deeper way. Horned Owl, you could always pre-record some segments and schedule them to release while you're gone. That way your algorithm doesn't go to hell. That's something I have been thinking about. I was thinking of maybe, like, I have a few things. One of them was I I don't want to bring the laptop with because it's one less thing I want to have to worry about. I want to like save all my space just for because I was like, oh, maybe I could do live streams every night and show off stuff. But then part of me is like, dude, you're going to be having so much fun every evening. You're not going to have time for live streaming because it's the same thing. Like, I'll go to like TF cons in the States and I'll always be like, should I bring my laptop? Should I do a live stream? And then I find myself up until 2 a.m. talking with people and I just don't have time for that. Where TFCon Toronto, because it's more or less the same people every year, there's very few surprises. It's a smaller show. I'm able to get away with doing a live stream on the Sunday. I'll gather a few people. We always do them. That's why the Toronto ones always get. Oh, Action Master Devastator. That's a good one. Mototron. That's true. Yeah, I could use that. You could use that one. But that would be a more correct kind of scaling. There you go. That's a good one. Thank you for reminding me. That's a good one. Or the Creo, the Creo combiner. But yeah, like I'm gonna think of something. I probably won't have enough pre-recorded, but I will try to like I don't know, like there was a few historical this day in histories or the weird ones, those segments that I do where it's like, hey, maybe I'll have those planned, but I just know like I am gonna be so busy, you know. I would love, honestly, if I could get Jaws D to have a schedule and take over the podcast while I was gone, I would 100% do that. Are you kidding me? I would love it if Jaws D took my spot in the meantime. But his schedule is terrible. That's the reason why it's so hard to get him on here. When we do the top 5 Transformers, we plan it on Boxing Day here in Canada, only because it's a day where we know we both have the day off from work. We have the free time. We both don't really participate in Black Fridays or Boxing Days, so we both know it's days that, we can have off. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to show you guys. I'll show it after. I just remembered now. Um, but yeah, so I wish that would actually make me quite happy just to have him as a change of pace. Transformer finance videos, that's another one. Yeah, there's a few things I have in mind. I know it's the same thing. Like when I do TF cons, I always leave on Fridays or Thursdays, and I always still have stuff posted those days because I plan them in advance. So I know if I leave on like a Friday, I know I'll have like a Friday, Saturday, maybe a Sunday video, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like if I stay longer than that, I probably won't have anything. And I know I'm going to be distracted. I'm going to be, when you're in a foreign country hanging out with a bunch of people, I feel just standing on the balcony of the hotel room, just looking out and absorbing it is more important than to me than staring at a screen. I'm not a social media kind of person. I really just kind of enjoy the moments, so to speak. And I just can't bring myself to stare at a screen. I can't when I'm out there, you know. I really can't. But I'll definitely try to pre-record some stuff for sure, 100%. Because I do it already for the shorter shows, you know. Um, Michael Koo, you could pre-record your unboxing videos, then upload those while you're in Japan. See, that's the thing. Like, what I would have to do is I have to record them, and because I'm so OCD, I want to make sure they're edited properly, and then I'll upload them, and then at least I could toggle the live button. You know, I could toggle it going live at least from my phone. But again, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna figure it all out. Everything is happening so fast. Like this all fell in my lap, like literally over the past week or so, and I didn't want to talk about it publicly until stuff was more or less confirmed. I actually part of my brain's kind of going like, if they delay it a week, like if let's say it's in December or something, that would be great. But it's as it stands right now. Let me double check. Let me double check everything. This is gonna be riveting content because it's Proto Man looking at his phone. Uh, yeah, it's starting to look more like the 23rd to the 24th. Yeah, but we'll see. That's when I'm leaving, but we'll see. Michael Koo, another option, can Mr. Archer do double duty and take over the podcast for a while? That's if Aaron wants to do it. I mean, I rather that Aaron kind of just makes content for his own channel and you guys just go there over time. I mean, that's what happened when I had the ice storm. Thank you, Action Master Pancake, for subscribing. Um, when I had the ice storm and I lost power, Aaron took over Saturday just for that one day, 1 week, because I wasn't going to be there. So definitely, if I'm not going to be there for Saturday, I hope Aaron, if you're, I know you're in the chat, definitely take over that Saturday if I'm not there. You know, give people some goodness, give people your knowledge. Do another doodle. That was pretty good. I liked. Go check out what he did. It was really good. He showed how the magic was done. He literally drew from nothingness. He drew Armada Optimus, and it almost looked like an animation cell. It was so nice how it came out. Obviously, because Posca's more of a paint, so it has that more animation cell kind of look to it. But man, looking good. Looking really good. Oh man, re-releasing some of the old videos from the channel. I am embarrassed by some of those old videos. That was the old Logitech microphone, as opposed to the beautiful, guys can barely see it, the beautiful Blue Yeti that we work with today. That's so much nicer quality, you know. And then we all have I guess we'll call it equipment evolution as we learn how to do this throughout the years. Again, Transformer Slag podcast has been around since 2009, 2010. So some of those early episodes were pretty rough. Oof. I would love to, if I could find, I did a really good interview with Flint Dilley many years ago at BotCon 2011. That would be really fun to do. Dig that one up again. But we'll see. We'll see. When I know 100% when the due date is, when I am 100% leaving, that'll give me enough time to really plan the week. Because then I'll know I could do my daily segment. And then after I'm done recording and uploading my daily segment, I'll then record something that'll be put into the queue for you guys. So you still have something to keep you entertained throughout the week. Because that's the one thing I always feel guilty is when I do, like when I did, San Diego Comic-Con, it's like nothing, you know? I'm too busy hanging out with people. I'm too busy networking. I'm too busy doing all that stuff, so it's something where, part of this Japanese trip was kind of spurred and gave birth because of networking that happened in San Diego. So the business that gets done at the bar, as I always like to quote that term, which came from Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect from wrestling. Business gets done at the bar, and it is so true. And so, I mean, I'm sure Aaron will pick up the slack on the live streams. He does way better live streams and better quality live streams than I do. So definitely he'll do that. Tom Laney, my DTOF display cabinet just blew up last week, just popped luckily. See, Tom, can I ask you something? Like you're saying the glass like just exploded, right? So I have a theory with that of why that happens to people. And it has to do with the fact that, see, I have like one DTOF here. Let me just turn the old camera. Oh, there, that's in the way. So I have one DTOF right here. Has the sexy anime ladies. Look at them gams. Um, I find that the screws that are at the top that use an Allen key, I find sometimes they tighten it too much and it creates a pressure because you have the wood on the top and the bottom, and then you have the glass in between. and it creates a pressure that's pressing down on the glass, and it sits like that for years. And glass, like anything else, it expands and it contracts. And if it's pushed to its limit, you know, so I always tell people when they build a DTOF cabinet, don't tighten it too much. Let it be a little rickety, let it be a little shaky, but at least you don't run that risk. And every time I see people with these exploding DTOFs, I feel that that's probably what's happening. So, T-Formers 2002, I still had an old Patreon listener question I requested a while ago. Which one was it? Send it to me. Is it still topical? Speaking of which, thank you for reminding me of that for Patreon. Um, so we had the Transformer Slag podcast TFCon exclusive Pokemon. Actually, I have two of them here. The Pokemon carts there. I was going to be shipping them out this week for everyone. Canada Post went on strike and I didn't even know it. Went to the post office on Wednesday. It was closed. Huh, that's weird. Didn't think anything of it, went to another post office, drove, a couple blocks. Huh, that one's closed too. Was there a national holiday that I'm not aware of or something? The following day, eBay, of all people, eBay emails me and tells me Canada Post is going on strike. Once again, this is why you don't allow your government to run your postal service, because now you don't have competition, and when the one thing goes down, you're screwed. So there is a delay. Um, I was going to ship out the little things to everybody, but yeah, that's not happening now. I don't know when that's going to pop back. Yeah, Patrick, you were one of them. I know. Um, I promise you, this isn't an excuse. It's literally look in the news. You could Google it. I don't know what happened. They're going strikes, and I hate it because then that means postal. If they do win, then that means like they're going to charge more for for shipping and stuff like that. Who knows? But the point is that everything's delayed right now. I'll let you know what's happening. I'll let you know what's happening. That's where the United States is lucky because their government, like our government handles our healthcare, which people go, hey, which I guess is good. But they also handle our postal service, which is not good. Because in the States, what's good about it is you guys, because it's all privately owned companies, they could all be in competition with each other and you could get the best rates. That's why American shipping is so cheap state to state. But if I ship a deluxe transformer to Toronto, it costs me $30. So like that's why Canadian shipping sucks. And that's why when people ask like, "Hey, I want to send you something to the PO box." I'm like, "Send it to Mikey and Louie." Like send it to an American address because I don't want to have to screw you guys sometimes. But yeah, Joseph with the $5 super chat. Proto, the world is filled with evil. Sometimes. Should a person have kids? It's not like they would have their childhood of the awesome 80s asking for self. Well, I always say it's the environment that you put children in. Uh, you know, a lot of people are opting for homeschooling because they see how the school environments are. I mean, I'm the kind of person that when the time does come to put children in school, I'm going to go to those open houses and I want to meet every single teacher face to face. Like, I want to see who is teaching my children because they spend just as much time with your children as your parents do. And I could even vouch for it. There's teachers in my life that were very influential on how I became who I am today. I'll always give a shout out to Mr. Jacobson, who was our taxation teacher. They taught taxes in high school. And he taught me a lot about finance and stuff. Very smart dude. Very, very smart dude. And I was so happy he told me to take that class because it would be an easy, high percentage for college application. But in the end, I ended up learning something. So, teachers are important. So it's something where I want to make sure that my kids, even at a young age, are not with some weirdo. Let's put it that way. Because there's a lot of weirdos out there. And it's a lot of weirdos that'll never have kids, but they don't mind bullying kids and they like making a profession out of that. Let's just put it that way. Um, and I will kick the crap out of anyone who's weird with my kids, let me tell you. T-Formers 2002, the question technically has to do with Japan or exclusives, so kind of topical for your trip. What are you what were you and what were you talking about earlier? Sorry, I missed something. Oh, you're talking about the previous Patreon one. You know what, T-Formers? Dig it up and resend it to me on Discord And maybe we could figure something out. We'll put something together. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, definitely Patreon listener questions will probably be the best for like content for sure. You're probably right. That I'm gonna put like a weird one, a finance segment, Patreon question. I know like I'm gonna plan at least like 4 or 5. I don't know if I'll have a full 7. That's a lot of work, but I could probably get a good 4 or 5 out there. Mike Prime, hey Proto, are there any deleted scenes from the '86 movie that you wish they had left in? Uh, there's that rumored part where like which we kind of see a little bit of it. Astro Train flies away, and then there's a pan shot that shows the Autobots gathering around the fallen Optimus Prime, and it's very hard to see. But I wish that was kind of like left in the movie in some capacity, just to add a little bit more gravitas. Um, there's a few extra pieces of Unicron's transformation that were cut out from his big transformation, certain angles that were left in the Japanese trailer, little things like that. But there's not much that was left out. Uh, I'm back. No big red dragon yet. Not yet. James Hobson, Proto, do you think we'll put out a studio series Sentinel D16 2-pack with Death of Sentinel Prime guy? Well, like I always say, Hasbro doesn't waste a mold, so what are they going to have to do with that Sentinel? They'll obviously have to do some kind of tooling. Maybe they'll just do battle damage across the stomach or really beat up, you know. Look, we're not done yet with these guys getting a whole bunch of figures. We're gonna get a whole bunch, you know. We got Megatron, we got Optimus. We're gonna get a D16. We're gonna get an Orion that's transformable. Like you know it's coming. You know it's coming. I know it's coming. We're gonna get a deluxe Arachnid. We're gonna get all of those guys. The movie might have not done well financially, but the hardcore fandom is like salivating to get more in terms of high quality stuff. That's why the blocky Transformer 1 stuff is selling well. That's why the YOLO Park Transformer 1 stuff is selling well. That's why the model kit stuff, the figurines, it's all doing very well. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. How long is Hasbro committed to Age of Primes? If Age of Primes doesn't sell well, will Hasbro end this line early? All toy lines are made 2 years in advance. So regardless of failure and or success, they usually see their entire run. It's very rare that they pull the plug on something. The one few examples that I could give is Dark of the Moon, where they kind of pulled the plug on the very last wave and just kind of left it for a region like Australia, China, little bit of Vietnam for some of their products. But usually it's made so far in advance that by the time they're able to react to it not doing well, the product has been long made in advance, you know? Uh, I gave a really good example of the timelines. Like here's Aaron Archer working on not animated, on Energon, and like while he's working on Energon, we're barely, finishing the Armada cartoon, you know? So like to have that initial reaction when he's already done every single Armada toy, at that point. So I think regardless if it sell wells or not, we're going to have all the waves. They're not going to cut it off. And I think it will do just fine. Like none of our like outside of Dark of the Moon, nothing has been cut off early. It's very rare that that's happened. There's been stuff that has been changed during creation, but nothing that's ever been, oh, it's not selling well, stop it now. If you worked on the tooling, if you did the designs and everything, why let that all go to waste? Especially when it's already at the factories, it's already in the packaging. And that's also again months in advance before we see anything. So there's no way. But let's put it this way. If wave 1 of Age of the Primes comes out and then 2 months later you have that gauge of reaction if it does well or not, by the time you're into Q2 of wave 1, already everything for wave 2 and 3 has already been made. So even if they go, "Oh damn, wave 1 didn't do well. It totally shit the bed." Wave 2 and 3 is already in package ready to go and ship. So to delay it would be silly, or to cancel it completely would be silly. Sarah, so I'm more interested in Deluxe Optimus Devastation than the Commander Class 86 just because it's an overpriced Voyager. And the Deluxe just goes to the point with transformation. Well, and again, if you only keep it in robot mode, you're not missing too much because that alt mode, while it might be a little lackluster for the Deluxe Devastation one, the robot mode seems like it does the job. Although it's hard to tell. We only have like I mean, that's the problem with this one is in terms of like we just have this same pose twice, back of the box and then stock image, and then like obviously the inbox image is kind of hard to see. So again, it's one of those I need to see it. There we go. I need to see it in hand, mess with it to really know. Patrick Brown, in my humble opinion, Hasbro messed up TF1 scale for Studio Series Prime and Megatron. Do you think maybe we'll ever get a proper Voyager scale Prime and Megs? I think the main reason why they made them deluxes because then you could have a solid case of 8. And I think they wanted to have 8 of these on the shelves, where if it was a Voyager, it would only have been 4. And considering the way some retailers are, they would be like, oh, Voyager, maybe order one case. Where if you even if they ordered only one case of this, there's 8 of these on your Walmart shelf or Target. So I think that's probably why they went with deluxes, even though they might not scale correctly. And I do agree with you. I mean, when you have like the Orion pack scene with all the miners, when he's doing the big speech, I mean, he's towering over them. That's got to be at least a Voyager class. Because if you give me a cogless jazz figure at some point, that guy better be a core class in a world where we don't have core classes anymore. Like, because then it wouldn't make sense standing next to this. It has to be, I don't know, do I have a core class? Here, I'll use J Decker in the meantime. But, you know, you got to have this a little J Decker PVC. You got to have something that's like tiny. Jazz, you know? That's a beautiful little J Decker PVC I got there. Um, where did I lose my spot here? Talking about deluxes. Where's my leader, Don Figueroa, Bomber Megatron, or the legal hell at that moment? No, I don't think that'll ever happen. Not anytime soon. Don Figueroa is, he's kind of in a funk right now. I'd really like it if he came on the podcast or even like Toy Armada. We could talk about titaniums. We could talk about even a little bit of, some of his work with other Transformer stuff. Very talented dude. I love War Within. I think it's one of the one of the better Transformer comic books, and just has amazing designs by an amazingly talented individual who understood transformations because he was making his own customs back in like 1996 that transformed the Macro Masters. Uh, Clark Clint Gaming. I can't wait for you and Aaron to do a deep dive into Energon. It's the ugly stepchild of the Unicron trilogy. It's the classic case of doing insane Japanese analytics and market research. Like Gundam Seed is doing really well. It's a dark, teenage marketed Gundam series. Why don't we do something that's more in that same vein? And the problem is a lot of Energon's opinions come from people that watch the dub, and the dub was absolute dog shit. Do not watch the Unicron trilogy in English. Armada's not bad. Armada's dub was okay, even though it's completely missing a ton of scenes and deleted scenes, and the animation's a mess. But the dub was okay because you had a lot of that early Ocean Group crew that was kind of carrying a lot of the weight, and there was a little more, I guess, vocal freedom. Like you look at David K as Beast Wars Megatron, and then you look at David K as Armada Megatron, and you really see the restrictions of dub where you just watch the Japanese version. I know some people don't like to read subtitles, but do yourself that favor. You're getting uncut scenes, you're getting extra animation, cleaner animation cells, and just a better story that makes more sense. A lot of stuff was rushed with those dubs. Thank you, Cartoon Network, for ruining that. They blame Haim Saban for it, but that's a whole other story. T-Formers 2002, so I'm guessing why Studio Series changed the boxes is just for the fact that the boxes look the same since 2018. Hasbro's looking to spice things up to change the look on the shelf. That's a possibility too. Sometimes when you go into a new wave, you want to convince the retailers that it's new product so they get multiple of it. That's why you change a segmentation. That's why you don't have Legacy stay as a brand consistently. You change it up every year with a new name so it sounds new to the toy managers. So that's one way, but also I think there was probably a more uniform consolidation probably with international because Studio Series is very popular in China and in Japan. So I think they really wanted to have something that's a little more universal that they could work with. Mototron, would an Age of the Primes Alpha Trion have a ship or a beast alt mode? I would like to believe it would be a ship. It would be some kind of Cybertronian vessel, because if it's a beast alt mode, what's the point of Onyx Prime and his uniqueness in the 13? You know what I mean? Um, that's his thing, the beasts. So that has to be reserved to him. You know, that's his thing. That's his design. Where later on, Alpha Trion having a beast mode and everything, sure, maybe he acquired it like, because in Transformers 1, he obviously has a beast mode, but I like to believe that, he acquired it later on. In my head canon, like even Zeta Prime being part of the 13, that's because Prima had the Matrix first and gave it to him. Like I feel like there's a whole story with the original 13 in the Transformers 1 continuity that wasn't told yet. Why is Sentinel around during the times of the original 13? Like there's a lot that could be told there. A lot. But that's just my creative brain going off. Um, T-Formers 2002, Superlink Kicker is a cool character that gets too much hate. Yeah, I mean he was marketed to. They were looking at what was going on with Gundam. Think about it. I want you to name outside of like Master Force and original G1 Spike Witwicky. Name a time where we really had teenage to adult side human character. And I'm not talking like, oh, like, yeah, there's adult humans, but I mean like the main human. Because like when you move just a little bit forward, you have Daniel Witwicky with season 3. Then you have Daniel Witwicky with Headmasters. Master Force, yeah, then they bring in, Metal Hawk and stuff like that, even though it's a pretender, but that's a whole other story. And then you have some of the other humans. But then when you go to Victory with Yuki Kun, not Yuki Kun, Yuki is for Transformers car robots. Uh, God, someone help me out here. Why am I blanking? Koji. No, not Koji. Koji was the dub name. Damn it. What is the human for with with Star Saber? My God, why am I blanking on that? Having a brain fart right now. Someone's got to know it. I can't be the only one. It's not Jury. June. Oh, June. John. John. It's John. John. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, T Formers 2002. John. So John, again, he's a kid. You look at Zone. You look at same thing, two kids with Akira and what was the other one? Had another weird name, the blue-haired one, because Akira was the younger one. But again, kid. Like, and then you go to let's just look at all the Brave stuff, because that kind of fills in the gap. It's all kids, except for Dagarn and yeah, there's a few adult ones too. But again, it's Brave. It's kind of different, you know. And then when you get back to car robots, it's kids again. It's all like kids. So it's something where when you look at Energon, aka Superlink, it's like, let's go for like a teenager that's almost 18, and he's like, he has the Star Saber, he's cutting down Transformers. They really tried with Kicker, they really did, and I feel it was the dub mixed with just a lot of weird things. Even yeah, sorry, like T Former says sorry, even though she fills the human role, even though yeah, her true origins, but again, she still was a kid. Like they always kind of did that. In Japanese, they call it a shihobu, which is like it's the audience surrogate character, and it exists in all kinds of media. Not like if you watch Messenger Z, which we just talked about, Go Nagai stuff, there's a kid character with Koji, Koji Kabuto. So there's always a kid character there that's always cheering them on, you know. So there's always that. There's always that. It exists in so many different properties. Even Gundam had the three orphans, you know, had the three orphan characters with the Amuro rays, but so that's kind of that goes into the weeds of TV tropes when Japanese people usually do media that's aimed at a specific demographic because of who's buying the toys. But yeah, don't watch the dub. My rule with any Transformer series is wherever it was made, you watch it in that language. G1, season 1, season 2, season 3, okay, co-Korean American production, watch it in English. Headmaster's Master Force Victory Zone, made in Japan, watch it in Japanese subtitles. Beast Wars was made in Canada with some American dabbling, watch it in English. Uh, Beast Wars Second, Beast Wars Neo, that stuff made in Japan, watch it in Japanese. It's fairly simple, and then you continue that trend moving onward. I know, again, there's people that don't like reading and they don't like reading subtitles and watching Japanese. I can't help you there. That's just how it is, you know. Sarah, the true origin of humans in Beast Wars was freaking monkeys. Yeah, well, there you go. We had two. Even Beast Wars, when it finally had humans, it was two kids, Una and Jack. Two kid characters. So it is what it is. I wanted to show you guys this. This was the other thing. So also, while I was out, I stopped by. There's this like antique store that I always pop into once in a while because they always do consignment for toys and everything. And 95 times out of 100, I go in there and there's nothing. But once in a while, like I'll go in there and oh my God, someone completely dropped off their Nintendo Power magazine collection for like nothing. So I always go in there every day and I always check it out. And the only other thing that I check out there is they're absolutely amazing. And I always suggest to people, if you're looking for like frames for stuff, check out your thrift stores, check out antique stores. I picked up this banger of a frame. This is for my autograph of Piccolo from Dragon Ball. Danieru, and then he calligraphied it. I'll show you the little Piccolo there. I got this for $3. Well, it's $4 Canadian, so $3.25 American. This banger of a frame. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. It has a nice wood grain, so it kind of matches that Japanese aesthetic. I'm gonna hang that up in the entrance near the house because this is something. It's more Asian artsy, so they don't know that it's actually some nerd shit. It's like, oh, what is that signature? Oh, it means hope. Yeah, sure, sure. It means dreams in koi fish. So pick that up too. I picked up the frame, so I got a nice frame for that. I'm always trying to track down. I'm trying to find a nice long one for the Shockwave that I got. I used a really nice one with one of the Aaron Archer ones I got a while back. So that's a nice thing too I got. Always when you get frames, always check, like if you go to like a Value Village or any of those, always check the frame section. You'll always find like really, really cheap because frames get expensive, man. You buy like a frame like this, no joke, probably because this is real glass, double-sided thin glass. This, no joke, probably brand new was probably like $40. No joke. Even though you go to Walmart or something. So, and people, they just, they get a diploma, they hang it up, and then they get rid of their diploma and they have this beautiful frame that they bought for it, and now it's $3. So it is what it is. Sarah, so what's your opinion on the new Starscream comic that Baptism of Decepticons should be? I don't want to talk about Skybound stuff because not everyone's caught up on it. I am caught up in it myself, especially with a certain season 3 character making his debut. But I do not want to talk. I don't like same thing like with the IDW books when they were running. So many people were so behind on them, or just sometimes even reading them just now, that I don't like to talk. It's so spoiler sensitive because, and especially with comics, because not everyone gets access to them. Some people are waiting for trade paperbacks, which is totally understandable. So I usually don't like to talk about the comic stuff. Even Transformers 1, we waited like 3 weeks before we finally talked about it on the podcast because some people just didn't have access to the movie yet. Sorry about that, Sarah. Mike Prime 21, I'm hoping we will get re-releases of the Japanese shows and Blu-ray DVD eventually. Well, if they do that, I hope they have better subtitles because the Shout Factory subtitles were terrible, terrible subtitles. So if we do get re-releases, hopefully they're done better the second time around. Yeah, Michael Koo, even I agree with Michael there. Too much spoilery with Starscream right now. So um just how it is. See, even everyone's saying please don't talk about it. Yeah. Don't talk about the Skybound stuff. Like it's just there's a lot of stuff that between Void Rivals and the main book and even the G.I. Joe stuff that's kind of crossing over with Energon Universe. Keep it on the down low. Well, d Michael, I didn't even say his name. Why did you say it? Well, I guess because he's on the covers, and I guess he's in the solicitations. So, that's why I said season 3 character. I didn't say who, but yeah, he's showing up now. So, but yeah, otherwise, great weekend. Otherwise, aside from the funeral, that was kind of the downer. I wanted to pay my respects, you know. But otherwise, a great weekend, great convention. Again, if you're in the local Montreal area, Montreal Toy Con is still continuing to into tomorrow. I will not be there. Already spent my money, and I'm more than happy. I usually would get a table there, but again, because of what was happening with the Japan thing, I didn't want to hunker down a table under the promise of then out of nowhere, oh my God, I'm flying out tomorrow. So it is what it is. Sarah, so what's your opinion on the old Onyx Prime comic where it reveals that Onyx Prime is really strong? I think it's dumb, personally. Um, and it's not an insult to James Roberts. I've told James many times in person. I've sat next to James for 5 years, sat next to him in conventions, and have talked a lot about the stuff I liked that he did and the stuff that he liked that I was not a fan of. And there's a lot of things that I'm like, I wouldn't have done it that way. I'm not a fan of his Star Saber. I'm not a fan of his Diatlas. I'm not a fan of how he kind of handled the original 13. But James is a very political conspiracy theorist kind of person. So that's kind of up his alley. Like he's the kind of person that likes the idea that, oh, everything you thought you knew about lore and culture was all a lie. And the government is lying to you. And they're all racist and sexist and this and that and this and this. So that's kind of his writing style, so it's no surprise that he kind of applies that vibe of thinking into the original 13. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that's just his style, but it wouldn't be my style. I have a much more romanticized kind of way of how I would have done it. Because there's also the toy aspect of it that you want to then kind of lie into also. T Formers 2002, can you get back to me again about the Caillou cards? Oh yeah, I was just super busy today, T Formers. I was just super busy. Like again, between the funeral yesterday, doing my winter tires today, the convention, getting home, whole ordeal. If Proto Man's going out to eat fast food, that means he doesn't have time to even make food, which is yeah, not happening. I'll get back to you, brother. I'll get back to you. I have to catch up with a few people anyways, because again, the Japan stuff and everything, it's getting pretty cray cray. Michael Koo, in regards to Skybound Transformers, I want Hasbro to start an SS line for them. Well, they said that they're interested in diving into that. They see Studio Series as something that the comic book platform could exist. I mean, obviously, like I'll just bring this guy over here, but I mean, we kind of saw this a little bit with this, where it's like, hey, comic stuff, you know. So, and that was just a planned 4-part series, but I'm sure we're definitely going to get more of that later on, for sure, for sure. Dylan, what did you say there, Dylan? What is the thing? It's hard to see. The ones that aren't super chats or green names, they're always harder to see on my computer because they get filtered a little bit. What is the thing you got that you said you were going to show? Oh, it was this, Dylan. It was this. Not as exciting. It was just this. I just remembered because I got it. I found this frame today at the antique store and I was like, "Ooh, this is beautiful." Like really good. Cuz I always worry with these Japanese signature boards. They're so fragile and I don't want to damage it, so I wanted to make sure it was like encased and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I have another one from the creator of the Death Note manga. When he was in Montreal, I got him to sign one too, and it actually had some art on it. Everything was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. No one within that you guys would know for the funeral. It was someone in the local Montreal fandom. Someone of the toy world passed away at age 34, I believe it was 34 years old, very young. No, 44, excuse me. 44, very young. Cancer complications, long story. He deserves his privacy. Sarah, so my Onyx Prime figure is gonna again be a Voyager Shockwave with extra stuff becoming a horse. I don't think Shockwave will be involved at all with the Age of the Primes Onyx Prime toy at all. The James Roberts era of storytelling will not be pulled from that. This is something that's more going to the vault, if you will, and the Covenant of Primus. Think more of that, pull back a little bit. If there's characters that had versions of them that existed before, they'll pull from those, like the Liege Maximo. But if there's something that really their first versions came from that Aaron Archer era of creating the 13 through the vault and then later on the Covenant, think more of that, you know? Mike Prime 21, I'm thinking 2027, we could start seeing comic versions in studio series. I would imagine earlier than that. That's all I'm going to say, you know? So earlier than that for sure. You know, Hasbro's very quick to react to what is popular and then putting that into the ecosystem. So like if something is realized and popular now, you'll see it in a year and a half to 2 years. Like because they're quick to then go, hey, maybe we should do this. Hey, maybe we should do this. Because clearly the fans are liking this or they're requesting this. So Amalgamus is going to be the most interesting one to see what they do. Because his I mean, I don't. Maybe I'll reach for that. Let me grab the Covenant. But and see, that's what happens when you reach for it. The camera freaks out. Why are you getting so close? Why are you getting so close? But Amalgamus has always been one that, as a design, let's see if I could even find the page. You know, that's a hot mess right there. That's like Frenzy from the Michael Bay movie. You know, so it's something where you just got to kind of go like, what do you do with that? He's the shapeshifter. He's what kind of created the concept of transformation. You know, so how do you how do you convey that in something that clearly is going to have an alt mode and a transformation already? So, yep. Uh, where are we at? Sarah, my Covenant of Primus is going to include a wig and a gravel big red dragon if you want. It has a giant Autobot logo on it too, if you want to be really screen accurate. Tom Laney, I know it's way off, but BotCon 2025 going. I look if BotCon is willing to fly me out, I'll go. You know what I mean? The thing is that I need to be flown out. I'll take care of the hotel. I'll figure something out with the hotel, but at least fly me out. That's all I ask. Fly me out. Give me a spot with Aaron or something. Like, and if you're flying me out, fly Aaron out. That way we could be a team. We could have a really good table. We'll give you a great weekend. You'll have like a cool booth and everything. We'll do some panels, you know. I mean, TFCon, I get aces. I get everything with that. So like if I could at least get that with BotCon, then I'll gladly go out. But for me, like think about it, right? To fly out to BotCon, it's probably going to be $600 for flights. Hotel room, I'll figure something out. But then if I'm not a guest, I'm not paying admission. I don't want to sound like a snob, but I mean, come on, you know? So it's something where, you know, the OG BotCon crew, they were always great to me, you know? People might talk crap about, that OG crew, but I love them. I thought they were always respectful to me and great. So I have nothing but flowers to. Oh, here comes Butters. You want to come up, little dude? 1 second. 1 second. Up, 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 ah. But it's something where you know he's they were always really cool dudes. So if they willing to move this so everyone can see you. It's something where if they're willing to fly me out, I'm willing to come. I'm willing to come on down. Make a nice panel for you guys. I'll make some exclusives even. I'll figure out something. But that's if they do that. That's if they do that. Uh, where are we at here? Joseph, two questions. If number one, if Titans are so big, couldn't they have done serious damage to Unicron? Not that big. Titans are Titans are probably up to Unicron's ankle, kneecaps. Uh, they wouldn't do damage. I mean, the way that the Dinobots did some damage on him. I always like to believe the way that Armada depicted Unicron, where he would get damaged, but then that damage would heal. You know, so it's like, yeah, the Dinobots tore him up, but then that's all those wounds closed up afterwards because he has that evil energy. And then the second one is, what was Unicron's motivations? Food or bigger plans? Obviously, they initially, when he was created, was a very Galactus kind of writing, where it's just consumption, consumption, and it still is kind of that. I like the Simon Furman Marvel Comics thing where it's consume everything so that there's nothingness, and then he could go back into his slumber because in the Marvel comics, like the world that we live in now is the second Big Bang. There was a Big Bang before the universe existed, and Unicron ate everything. He consumed the entire universe, and then there was nothing but the void, which was just emptiness. And he was just like, and then a little bit of the void survived, and then the second Big Bang happened, and then when he woke up, he was like, "Oh God damn it," So he started consuming again, and then obviously, like we'll say it like the one, the higher entity created the alpha to the omega, the yin to the yang, and that was Primus, God of light against God of chaos. I love that kind of writing. It's very Jack Kirby-esque. It's which I'm pretty sure Simon was pulling from that kind of stuff because Simon loves Silver Surfer and he loves that stuff. So that's totally that. And I love that. I love that. I hate the idea of Unicron being created by a little monkey man. You know? That doesn't do it for me. Primacron. Come on, man. Um Prince of Phalanx 59. This year isn't over yet. I wonder how many more Optimus Primes will we get. Probably, maybe one or more too. Where can we get a cheap Bacon 2013 Striker? I don't know, but one day we'll get a better one, and then that one will definitely plateau in value. Michael Koo, too bad we never got TF Unicron ST Borg crossover. Oh, you tired, dude? Star Trek. We'll be lucky if we get that one USS Enterprise ship, Fortress Maximus. Eyes on the Ace. Isn't it actually the seventh, but it's the second for Galactus? No, I'm talking about Unicron. I'm not talking about Galactus. Galactus, he had his origin book where he was Gallon. Actually, I don't want to spoil that. It's a really good book. I want people to read. Read up. You can probably find it online. The Origin of Galactus. It's a really good. It's an older book, but it's a really interesting story of how Galactus came to be. If you're like big into Marvel and stuff, really good book. Go read it. I think it's called The Origin of Galactus. It was a one shot that came out in the 80s or like the late 70s. Um, so no Voyager Optimus Prime first edition reissue yet. Man, I feel if that came out today, I think I talked about it before. If that came out today, that'd be a leader class price point. You know, that would become a leader class price point. They wouldn't be able to. You always liked Primacron? Well, you could like him as the creator of Tornatron, and then getting outsmarted by Grimlock. But I have always liked the more godly origin of uh, of Primus and Unicron. I've always liked that more. Um, Even Tomoya-san. Oh, I don't have that book. It's not in there. It's probably in the comic book room. Tomoya-san even had his own explanation. This was back in the day of like, well, where does Primus fit into everything during the cartoon continuity? And obviously that's been retconned since with Sakamoto with his stuff, but really good, really good. Oh, we are at the 2 hour mark already. So we are done for today. Now, I don't want to promise 100% that I'm not going to be here next week, but I will keep you guys posted if something happens, and I will not be doing a live stream next week. I will post it on the socials. I'll mention it in the podcast. That's why I always tell people when you see the credits scroll, don't turn off the video because I still have stuff I got to talk about. Sometimes people they see the credits scroll and they stop the video. I always done talking today. So, but I'll keep you guys posted. We'll see what happens. I mean, right now it's looking like it's going to be the 23rd, 24th with certain companies, but we will see. We will see. Um, and then you'll just have to deal with Aaron Archer and the other crew in the meantime. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for listening. And again, thank you for being part of the Transformers cycle. Oh man, there's hair flying. You see this hair? You see the hair flying everywhere? Look carefully. Could you see it? This guy, thank God I have two air purifiers in this room. This guy is hair supreme. Um, Thank you again for listening to the Transformers Slag podcast, being great fans. Again, if you want to continue supporting the podcast, Patreon's down there. That's probably the best way to support it. Again, those lucky people who are part of the 1 year or more on Patreon, they contacted me and I will get these shipped out before Japan, I hope. I don't know what's happening with Canada Post. Literally, all your envelopes are ready upstairs. They're waiting. They're waiting to go. So for the ones that opted for it, they will be coming. But take care of yourself, everyone. Take care of your friends, your family, your loved ones. Enjoy your life. I know there's a lot of social turmoil right now in the world. It's being blown out of proportion. Don't fall for the people that are screaming to the sky. Just take care of the people around you and all the beautiful things that are going on, and you'd be surprised how well things work out when you just kind of do that. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you later. I'm actually kind of hungry. Butters, let's go grab something. I'm out of here. Take care. And as always, roll out.